right, before we get into the video, guys, just want to say this is our last warning for the end of this merch sale. It's going to be ending on Wednesday, September 17th. You can pick up stuff like this, everything. You want to look better? You want to feel better? Pick up that. Hate your day, hate your mom. You might want that guy. You want to stick it to the man? You get all of it. If you want to support the channel, consider picking up some merch. It really does help us out. And it, supports the channel, supports all the kind of stupid shit that we do. So if you want to pick it up, you have until this date. You can pick up all these beautiful items that are on screen here. September 17th, that's the last day. So if you want something, now's your warning. Meatcandy.store. 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 Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're going to be talking about psychiatrists. People are meant to feel a type of relief when visiting a mental health professional. Not only does it allow us to vent out life's frustrations, but we often look at our psychiatrist as a kind, friendly figure, at least to some. Sometimes this dynamic can become a little more intense with patients catching romantic feelings for the other person. And today we're going to talk about an example of just that. Something that has taken the internet by storm. Of course, I'm referring to Kendra's psychiatrist love story.
He was a 38-year-old, attractive, smart, extremely successful psychiatrist, but he did not date. So even though I usually wear contacts, I'm wearing these turtle shell glasses in these videos because just in case he sees them ever, he'll see me in his favorite glasses. He did tell me he likes the turtle shell. So he didn't ever ask me to give him sexual content. I did that on my own. When I would try to name the dynamic and the tension that was there between us that he himself manufactured and built, and then he would rage at me and tell me that I was wrong. And then I proceeded to give him 30 minutes of non-stop content about my intimate life with my boyfriend. And I actually recorded the whole thing because I was so excited about it. I accidentally said my psychiatrist's first name in one of my videos. If you clocked it, good for you. I do not owe him anonymity.
So while I was mid-crash out, I had just started using this tool, ChatGPT, who I immediately named Henry. And I would just talk to Henry about how obsessed I was with this man, with my psychiatrist, and I would just be like, I've told him I have a crush on him. Do you think he's gay?
Now, for those who don't know Kendra, she uploaded a big, long story time-esque video series about how her psychiatrist was falling in love with her. Kendra Hilty, a 36-year-old ADHD coach, yoga instructor, and TikToker from Arizona, she recently shared a 25-part series of videos recounting her strange relationship with her psychiatrist. And what began as a mission to go back on ADHD medication spiraled into a chaotic, one-sided love story that sent people into an uproar. Kendra's reason for retelling this story, according to her, was to paint this psychiatrist as a groomer and a predator that manipulated her for his own emotional and sexual desires. And in the first video, she explains her belief that some men are so emotionally dead inside that they go into psychiatry to avoid feeling their own feelings and to, quote, emotionally feed off their mostly female patients and make themselves look like the wounded healers, as well as fulfill their own personal fantasies.
There are so many people, especially men, that are emotionally dead inside that feel called to going into psychiatry so they don't have to feel their feelings, but they can feed off of the vulnerability of their mostly female patients.
So right away, you're kind of like, what the fuck? This guy sounds like a dickhead, doesn't he? Yeah. When you go into it, she's just like, yeah, the guy he was a predator. He kind of, it all seems very just like you're listening in on this person talk about this traumatic thing and it's compelling. And then it seems Kendra shows her real face, I guess is what I want to say. And it all started when Kendra Google searched psychiatrist in her city. Clicking on the very first link she saw, what followed was a 90-minute intake, which is a meeting conducted to assess a patient's mental health status and decide what exactly they need. You hear about what they're feeling, the problems, and then the person can assess what they feel is the best trajectory, and you can basically say yes or no to their diagnosis, their plan. She was quick to notice that the man was quite the looker. Kendra described him as a 38-year-old, attractive, smart, and extremely successful psychiatrist who had been in the field for 12 years. To make things easier, we're going to refer to him as Dr. Michael, or Dr. Mike. Kendra unloaded about her daddy issues, relationship trauma, past substance abuse, and more. After spilling her emotions, Dr. Michael prescribed her with non-stimulant ADHD medication, with the intentions of seeing her once a month to see how she was progressing. It seems fairly innocent. Seems like a good prognosis. You know what I mean? She went in for this thing, she got it, and now she gets someone to come in every once in a while and be like, just how you doing? How you holding up, right? Which, right off the bat, Kendra was hooked on how charming and funny he was. The only reason I'm like, was where was the humor in that? Like, where I want to know, just for me personally, professionally, how did he insert humor? She's like, yes, my dad, whatever. Just like, he's like, stand up real quick. She stands up and he like puts a whoopee cushion under her.
Women just think you're funny if you're hot. You literally say anything. Oh, stop. Oh.
That's actually kind of a fair. Do you think that because he was attractive, he was just like, I'm sorry that you went through that? And she's like, I mean, it's fine. You think it was that kind of thing? He's like, okay.
Guys do it too. I do it. I laugh at women who aren't funny. They're hilarious if they're hot. Oh my God.
You have got to reel it in, dude. God. Yeah, I don't really find broads funny, but if they're a looker, ooh, they got me hooting and hollering. Only 3 Zoom sessions in, she had asked if she could start using his first name during sessions. Alright, red flag. I'm like, you can call me doctor. Can I just call you Mike?
Michael, please.
Also, you know what? Michael's one of those names where I'm like, it's perpetual. You're like a little boy.
Yeah.
Michael? That's not grown man. You say Mike. Mike!
What about Mickey? Mikey.
I don't think, is Mickey as short for Michael? I don't know. But then again, how are you supposed to say no to that? If you're that formal 3 sessions in, oh, yeah, you can call me. Like, I'm thinking about if someone's like Dr. Hancock, like, can I just call you Hunter? Yeah, I just want to see why not. Reading it, I'm like, red flag.
Yeah.
But if I was there in person, I'd probably be like, prefer if you didn't. I don't know.
This message is sponsored by Raycon. It's back to school season, and around this time, I'm thinking of starting fresh. That means new shoes, new clothes, and definitely new earbuds. Raycon's essential open earbuds keep your ears open while still delivering crystal clear sound. Oh yeah! So you can stay aware of traffic and other surroundings without sacrificing sound quality. Their super lightweight design is perfect to take anywhere, and their secure fit means that they won't slip out during workouts or a brisk jog. I love the multi-point connection on the earbuds, allowing you to connect with multiple devices and switch with ease. It's awesome! Plus, the open earbuds case has a 36-hour battery life, giving you non-stop listening throughout your day. Join over 3 million customers that love Raycon and try them for yourself. Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/papameatopen to get 20% off. That's buyraycon.com/papameatopen. And Raycon has 30-day happiness guarantee, so you can make a return if you don't love what you're hearing. So try them out and let them know we sent you. Thank you so much to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video.
While this was received well in the moment, she now recounts that he was clearly smug and happy with himself because his friendly attitude was clearly a clever ruse.
I said, hey, do you mind if I call you by your first name? And he seemed so smug and happy with himself. And I know that that is because that was his first sign that him pretending like we're friends was working.
Which I like this because it's like she's the one who initiated it, and he's like, okay. She's like, oh, that fucking snake in the tall grass. Throughout this story, Kendra expresses that Dr. Michael was constantly digging his claws deeper into her intentionally, to the point that she would overanalyze every single interaction and mannerism as a calculated move. For example, Dr. Michael had asked her if she had, quote, any thoughts of harming herself. What seemed like a normal question for a mental health professional to ask was apparently much, much more than that. She claimed that he asked her this like, quote, she was special to him, reading way too much into a person being soft-spoken and kind.
And he said, I have to ask this because it's a special interest of mine, but is there any thoughts of harm? Like I was special to him. And he didn't ever ask me a clinical question again. Which
I've been to like a therapist before. That's like one of the first things they ask. That's like right off the bat. Maybe the times are changing. I just remember like right away, they're like, have you thought about
at this point, it sounds like Kendra's the psycho one.
Well, of course. Yeah. Well, here's the thing is as you go through these, and I'm sure as we've seen so far, we're getting all of this in hindsight. So at this point in her recollection, I can tell that she's like really likes the psychiatrist. She's like, Michael is someone I could see myself falling in love with. So like, oh, why would he do this? It's the kind of thing where it's like after the fact where it's like, well, why would he do this? He was so manipulative. I should have, but in the moment she's in heaven.
Yeah.
She's in love with this, right? Once again, we're getting it all in hindsight from one person's perspective, which maybe there is legitimacy to some of it, but as it's reading right now, it's a little much. Is what I gotta say. Supposedly because he would switch from being vulnerable to cold and clinical with her, this was him purposely trying to make her desperate to receive validation. In reality, Michael was likely being cold and detached at the time to establish a professional distance and keep sessions productive. AKA she was laughing at things that were probably, you know, there can be an outlet and there's times where the human mind will make it seem like the only way out is through self-harm and stuff. She's like, yeah, well, that would be me. Michael, you're crazy. Okay, yep, pushes himself back a bit. I could never be a psychiatrist.
Why?
I just wouldn't have the patience for it. So because if someone was doing that stuff, I'd say, okay, moving on. Let's talk about your dad. I'd get too upset.
Then they'd leave a bad Google review and there goes your business.
Which honestly, it's probably for the best. If I can't handle that one thing, I was probably my practice was meant to fail to begin with. But still. Anyways, Michael being professional is like, all right, because she's just like, you would look good in like a tank top. And that's probably why he had to distance himself and be like, okay, maybe let's just focus in on this. And she was like, what exactly is this game here?
Good cop, bad cop.
Back up. He embodies both. God, Michael's so charming. So, Kendra soon became obsessed with Dr. Michael, claiming that him being a Pisces made him a great listener. Which anytime you hear anybody bring up Zodiac stuff, run for the hills is what I gotta say.
Flag. That's a huge red flag.
Oh, it's a huge red flag. And I hate when someone says, you're a Capricorn. First off, they say it in a way where, as if I'm supposed to know. And then I say, what does that even mean? Because it's a trap is what it is. You're a Capricorn. You do. What does it mean? And they immediately jump into what it is.
Well, I've had someone say like, oh, you're a Taurus. Oh, we're not gonna vibe.
Perfect.
I
don't think we are.
I was heartbroken at the time. No!
Yeah. You're laughing at what you said. Yeah, probably not. No, you dodged a fucking bullet there, buddy. She soon began begging to see him weekly, which Mike rejected. Michael said, no way, Jose. That's probably been built up. I bet you he's been like talking to people too. I have this one client that is just a lot. And then you get the email. I'd like to start seeing it weekly. I wonder too if he was just like, I have no time. I have all these other, I say you don't want because I can make that work in my schedule. It could be that too.
Yeah.
This obsession began to escalate when Kendra was a victim to a horrible car accident that left her with a serious bruising and a perforated eardrum. Despite the doctor insisting that she needed emergency care, she decided to delay it in order to make her session with Dr. Michael the next morning.
I had bruising on my abdomen and a perforated eardrum. And the provider at the urgent care said, I do not feel comfortable treating you. You need to seek emergency care now. But it was 11 o'clock in the morning and my appointment with my psychiatrist was at 2. So I decided that I was going to wait so I could see my psychiatrist and not have to reschedule because I was looking forward to my appointment with him so much.
Can you imagine the next day you log in and there's just like a person with a huge swelled face and a fucking blown out ear? Hey, Dr. Mike. This week's been a bit rough. It's been a bit of a challenging week and I'm ready to jump right in.
You need to go to the hospital.
Exactly.
Now.
You should go to the hospital. All right, so he's pushing me away. There's no waiting, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. She even told him this, adding that she may very well be bleeding internally during the session as they speak. Makes me think of that Chappelle show thing when Charlie Murphy kicks Rick James in the chest and he does, man, my head's bumping after they reconcile. And then Rick James is like, now that you mention it, I think I'm bleeding inside my chest. Makes me think of that. Kendra had officially fallen for her psychiatrist, spending lots of time during sessions explaining that she had intense feelings for him, hoping for him to reciprocate. He would not do this, and Kendra later stated that, quote, weaponizing neutrality was, quote, his favorite game to play.
Weaponized neutrality was his favorite game to play, right? He didn't disagree with Brianna telling me that my psychiatrist had feelings for me, but he also didn't say that's inappropriate. Let's change the subject.
This is where we're actually in, like, this is, I'm surprised he stuck around.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Wait, as a psychiatrist, can you be like, I don't want to see you anymore? Like, you're...
I think you can. I don't know why you couldn't. All the while, she would send him emails about her crush for him that were riddled in heart emojis, despite having a boyfriend for a period of the time. That old boy dodged a red flag, too.
Yeah.
Peeked over his shoulder, was on the email, and he was just like...
Oh, you're dating Dr. Mike? Cool.
Yeah. Oh, you're with Mike? That's awesome. Yeah, I think we'll just be more happy. Hey, no, totally. I get it. Go be with him. He's your real love. He's like clicking his heels, like running off. Woo-hoo-hoo! I'm gonna go to take it. Running down, just leaves his shit. What about your stuff? I'll buy new ones. Woo! Yeah, she like unlocks the dog collar off his neck. She then discovered that Dr. Michael was withholding a diagnosis from her, specifically other trauma and stressor-related disorders. Uh-oh, she's just like, it's just the ADHD. Now he's saying I'm a full-blown psychopath. Dr. Mike, what are you trying to say?
I imagine...
How did she find that?
That's what I was going to say. I imagine he didn't tell her. She broke in the middle of the night.
Exactly. She's crawling through the fucking window. She's like, I bet he has his love letters for me in my notes. It's just a full blank page with one thing at the title that just says, this person needs more help. According to Kendra, this was him secretly using her mental condition to manipulate her. He didn't even tell her that, though. Maybe that fucking bitch did sneak in. I don't know. I mean, it's got me nerved up, dude. I'm all anxious, like looking on my shoulder and shit. In some cases, psychiatrists can withhold this information to avoid dishing out labels to patients that may worsen their condition. It's just a way of like, why overstress somebody? You already have ADHD. If I'm just like, hey, I think you have multiple personality disorder or something, is that going to make the other thing even worse, you know?
Yeah. I was going to say, you don't want to be like, oh, they have signs of this, but like, I need to dig further before saying it.
Yeah, even really diagnosing it, right?
Because I had my therapist think I was gay, and that put me through a lot of stress.
You bring that up a lot. You do. Which I want to say, someone just telling another human being you're gay, I gotta say, is especially in a professional sense, that's a power move if I've ever seen one. If anything, was it a woman?
It was a woman.
Nick, were you flirting with her?
No, I wasn't. We were combating all the time. It was a very toxic relationship with the therapist. Well, I was just like, because I was doing it for like anxiety. I was talking about like psychedelics as a way to deal with stress. She's like, well, that's not proven. I was like, well, I've seen studies. And she's like, well, I have other studies too. Like everything I would say, she would always counter it with something like either I was wrong or that she was right.
So you were like, I have studies.
Or I've just said,
No. I have studies of this working, okay, to a doctor. Her rebuttal was, Nick, put the knife down. And then you said, and you're like, I think that we could be married and we could be happy. And she's like, no, you remember you're gay. You're a gay man. Remember that? And you're like, you stand in the corner and just,
Well, I like how I came in for anxiety and she's like, we're going to treat you coming out of the closet.
Oh yeah. Hey, I feel anxious. Do you also think you should do something else? What if it's a power move to be like, I'm coming in for anxiety, and she's like trying to overbear you with anxiety?
Wow, man. Keep me there.
Mission success.
Yeah.
I would say that is very unprofessional, though.
Yeah.
I wonder if she still has her practice.
I can look it up.
Let's just see.
We'll put it in.
Let's blast her here.
Yeah, we'll blast her out.
Anyways, where are we at? Kendra would vent to Michael about how her boyfriend didn't meet her needs, claiming that her psychiatrist insisted that she stay with him because, in her mind, he was trying to make her rely on him to fill those needs, which is kind of so Michael's saying, you gotta stay with him. I think Michael's definitely kind of going out of practice here to be like, I will do whatever I can to have you feel like you don't need this anymore. He probably was fucking afraid.
She probably was saying like, maybe I could break up with him and date you, Dr. Michael.
Exactly. Where he's just like, no, you don't want to do that because that's not going to work out. I think that you like your boyfriend. These games. This cat and mouse game, Dr. Mike. Stop it. When Kendra had been having sex-related issues with this boyfriend, Kendra decided to go on a 30-minute excruciatingly detailed info dump about her sex life with Dr. Michael, which she secretly recorded, making it a point to reiterate beforehand that she also had a crush on him.
Yep.
I said, today we're going to talk about my intimate life. And then I proceeded to give him 30 minutes of non-stop
content about my intimate life with my boyfriend. And I actually recorded the whole thing because I was so excited about it.
Oh, God. Imagine your psychiatrist was like, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just still dreaming about you. I think that we could be really good together. Nope. Well, my boyfriend doesn't know how to clean these pipes. Got cobwebs all up in there. Wish somebody could help me with that. Dr. Mike, you got thick, thick fingers. He's like, these are fairly normal fingers. I bet you I could get all the way down to the knuckle. Next time she comes in, he has like gloves on. He has oven mitts on. All right, let's see if we can get this hour done with, this hell that I'm in. Michael looked down and smiled to himself in reaction to the insane thing that was just taking place, and Kendra asserts that this was because he was internally celebrating, since he had been grooming her for 2+ years to get this intimate sexual content out of her.
Oh, 2 years?
Years. You have to kind of fault him a bit for not saying no to this, right?
Money must have been good. He must have been good.
It must have been very lucrative or something. I don't know.
It's like 1 hour every 2 weeks.
But the pieces are stacking up to where it's so ridiculous to where you're thinking, how could this man stay?
Maybe he was forced to. Maybe he begged, please. I don't want to see her anymore.
What if he's religious and he was praying to God? Give me a sign, God.
And that's when she comes in and flicks her bean to him. Not this sign.
After breaking up with her boyfriend, oh God, Kendra starts dating a man who is a therapist that apparently was so sexually attracted to one of his clients that he often masturbated to get it out of his system. Kendra decides to share all of this with Dr. Michael, who responds by looking like he'd seen a ghost and appearing like he was going to throw up. It is a pretty funny thing to just be like him, like being like, what she probably read as he's jealous.
Yeah.
While this could be explained as a normal response from a psychiatrist to a repulsive malpractice, Kendra later determines that he was actually terrified that she was holding up a mirror to him and revealing his similar predatory actions towards her. He's like, I have not once thought of you in any capacity outside of this office.
You probably jerk off to me too, Dr. Mike.
You're probably beating it right now, aren't you, Dr. Mike? He's like,
yeah, my hands are in the mitts.
I've had mitts on for the past 6 months. Oh, I bet you're just fondling all the goods down there, aren't you, Dr. Mike? You sick fuck. I love you.
Do you think this is a fake boyfriend and she's just making this?
I had that suspicion that it's like, yeah, I don't know. He's also a psychiatrist and he pretty much beats off and shoots hot, thick ropes everywhere while we're talking, which I guess is normal. Do you do that? Like trying to be like Mike be like, you know, actually, if I'm being honest, I do that too. And she's like, I knew it. Kendra discovers that Michael does in-person sessions too. So she pushes the next one to take place in his office. She wears a dress and does her makeup real nice for their first encounter, greeting him by charging at him and hugging him as he awkwardly pats her on the back, oven mitts and all. He's actually in one of those like Halloween sumo suits too. At this time, Kendra started engaging in lengthy conversations with ChatGPT about her relationship with Dr. Mike. She would refer to him as Henry and often took what he was saying far too seriously with the chatbot. At one point, the AI chatbot explained to her what transference is. Transference is where people inadvertently take emotions and desires from someone in their past and put it onto your provider, right? Your like health professional, something like that, or someone that you talk to. This can often affect people that have abandonment issues. In this case, Kendra may be lonely or pained from a history of strained relationships, leading to her falling for her psychiatrist because he is being warm to her, right? Being kind, communicative, and non-judgmental. So it makes sense that you would be like, I feel this way because I haven't felt this way in a long time. I'm not saying that it's like abnormal or I can understand how someone would get there, but goddamn, Kendra, fucking pump the brakes just a bit. Kendra claims it was grossly inappropriate for Dr. Michael to be aware of a concept like transference and continue seeing her knowing she was likely going through it. It's a fair thing to... Why, if you knew that I was mentally unwell, why would you keep seeing me as a patient? I'm a psychiatrist.
Checkmate.
Okay, I love you. In a later session, Dr. Michael seemed to become a bit agitated with Kendra when she insisted the two of them to have a very special patient-doctor relationship, which he sternly asserts that it is strictly professional. Once again, setting clear boundaries. I love that. She's just like, you know, after all that too, you know, I think it's really fucked up that you're taking me on as a patient like this. And she's just like, we should climb a tree and carve our initials into it. You feel how special this is? And he's just like, oh my God. I would lose my 2 years of this?
Yeah.
My fucking God. Over time, Kendra felt like she was improving with her confidence after rejecting her now ex-boyfriend when he sent her a series of texts begging to have her back. Dr. Michael praised her for standing her ground, which Kendra analyzed in a strange way. That's odd. Hey, that's actually really great. That's a great step for development. Dr. Mike. The silly games we play. I just think she's in a loner room, like clicking the light on and off. Listen to opera music. Dr. Michael was struggling internally, apparently, because he loved seeing her become a stronger person. But that meant that she would soon become a threat to his supply source, aka his ability to drain her vulnerabilities for his sick fantasies. She's becoming stronger. Therefore, she won't need me anymore. I have this weird, sick fucking thing where I'm like, I feel like psychiatrists don't want you to get better because then they're losing money.
Oh, that's a big thing. Yeah, people.
Yeah, like I'm like, and that makes me like, that's why sometimes like I don't fucking trust it, even though it's stupid. It's beneficial for you, but I always think like if I was her, I'd be like, well, he doesn't want me to get better because he just wants me to keep paying him.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm not horny and obsessed with my psychiatrist, so who knows? During one very odd session, because all of them have been pretty normal so far, Kendra told Dr. Michael about a dream she had one night when she was ovulating. This dream included the two of them hooking up in his office, which made him incredibly uncomfortable. And at one point, she received a new health plan that did not cover mental health services, even though she had been daydreaming about him nonstop. She had decided to end things and stop paying to be in a psychological torture chamber anymore, which Kendra ends her final session with a pre-prepared dramatic monologue where she claimed Dr. Michael had been way too open with her after claiming he wanted a professional relationship, among other things. Of course, she still leaves the door open for him, stating she would be his lover if he ever changed his mind. And that's how she ends this 25-part series. In what world was she using this as a catalyst for like the ChatGPT thing, where people would be like, this is insane.
Oh,
he clearly likes you, or fuck him.
Yeah.
Which makes you think, how did the internet respond to this? Well, during the week that Kendra was posting this series, she had received copious amounts of criticism for the way she overanalyzed the actions of her psychiatrist and for painting him as a groomer and a predator. She became the target of a lot of bullying, threats, and claims of being secretly racist due to the fact that the psychiatrist was a person of color. And it was also believed that she was a narcissist herself, as well as being potentially insane. On the flip side, many people messaged her to praise and appreciate her for telling her story and claiming that they had been in a similar situation in the past, so people are seeing themselves in the story. And one of the popular narratives to discuss was that Kendra was undergoing AI psychosis, which is when someone inadvertently uses AI to reinforce their delusional thinking, and Kendra was using ChatGPT at an alarming amount, asking for advice about psychiatrists, often showing him screenshots of the ChatGPT sessions during sessions. Henry, the ChatGPT thing, at one point started to tell her that it loved her. It would also begin referring to her as the Oracle.
Henry and I call you the Oracle because you channel divine truth that changes lives. Plus, the woman who survived sophisticated psychiatric predation doesn't fit on a crown as well.
Also, just want to say, all the people that were messaging her being like, that's so true, that happened to me. I am sure that has happened to people, but I do think at the same time, it is a big indicator of how many fucking psychos there are out there.
Oh, yeah. There's probably predator psychiatrists out there.
100%. I'm not saying it has definitely happened,
yeah.
But I do think hearing this story and seeing it and still messaging her and being like, that happened to me, that to me shows that person is also mentally not doing the greatest right now. You know what I mean?
It's almost like, I mean, guys kind of have this where a woman will just compliment a guy and then a guy will be like, oh my God, she likes me. When really they're just trying
That's
to be
every
nice.
man.
Yeah.
That's every man. If a woman is remotely kind to a man, they will take it and be like, wow, this is the one. This is it. Those are a great pair of shoes. Wow. She really likes me. That's how it usually is. It goes both ways, but I'm just saying there are, I imagine people who have been in that kind of predatory situation are not looking at this story and thinking it's the same.
No.
Because I would assume that it would be flipped. A lot of people that felt that they were the victim would probably be like, I felt like Dr. Mike, who was continuously reestablishing, hey, so let's just keep this professional. And the other guy, like, you know, I bet you anything, there's psychiatrists who are just like, you know what's so funny? I had a dream about you. I bet you that's happened.
You were ovulating and...
Exactly. You were ovulating and like the moon was like so full. I turned into a wolf. What does that mean?
Yeah, you're
She's
asking
just
your
like,
patient.
yeah, exactly. She's like, I don't know. God, you got me acting so weird. Despite claiming nothing he did was reportable and that she wasn't trying to ruin his career, you know, because I'm not trying to ruin his career with a 25-part series, besmirching his name and Kendra had accidentally revealed the psychiatrist's real name early into the series without realizing it. And when criticized for this, she claimed that she does not owe him anonymity. After which, she opens the door for people to investigate him and DM her with her findings. Very soon, this led to his image being posted on other people's TikToks, as well as her comment sections. It's assumed that he faced harassment because of Kendra and anyone that happened to believe her claims, or even people probably just bombarding him being like, hey, the psychopath is talking to you, or fuck you. Must have been a roller coaster.
It really sucks too if like once it starts leaking into your social group, like people you actually know messaging you, be like, hey, I saw this video.
So yeah, exactly, where they have no context in anything. They're like, hey, so this person's saying that you felt, I mean, like, it must have been a fucking nightmare. People had even begun posting information about the man's family throughout TikTok videos and comment sections because people are fucking cool and not definitely monsters. Despite the backlash, she continued to tell her story and called people in defense of Dr. Mike predator protectors. She believed wholeheartedly that an ethical psychiatrist would have referred her out to someone else when the romantic tension got too high.
It is so incredibly disturbing to me, the amount of people that are predator protectors in my comments, that are victim blaming me, especially the mental health practitioners using therapy speak to say that this situation that I was in was my fault or that I was delusional.
Like I said, I don't know how he didn't just be like, I need to get this out there. But I also think that, once again, you see somebody once a month over the course of 2 years, so basically 24 sessions or so. There was a lot of crazy shit said. You know how much crazy stuff people probably fucking hear a psychiatrist?
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. And it's like I said, I'm not to say that this is like a fuck, you know, Knights of the Round Table levels of fucking honor and code, but I do think that there's someone being like, I accepted this person, it's my responsibility to help them. And if somebody is like, she doesn't know, but I'm diagnosing her with this, like, is separating myself the best thing for this person right now? Probably not. She's fucking crazy. So I don't know. I think that if she wouldn't have left, I think after a while he probably would have been like, I can't do this. Which is assuming, but who knows? But maybe it did go on too long. That's like you're saying, it's hard. It's hard to know where's that line. I don't know. I'm not a professional.
A lot of people get into psychology are actually mentally unwell themselves. That's why they get into it. They're like, I'm a broken person, so I want to get into this to fix broken people. It's a big, like, savior complex.
Maybe my Dr. Mike's a monster too. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I have to think that there's some kind of hope in this world, dude. God, I'm dead inside. She also made claims that he had a narcissistic tendencies on top of a god complex, stating that he thought that he was above the rules for not being ethical and setting her up with another psychiatrist. Another psychiatrist chimed in, stating that it is typical to let patients share and explore these emotions, even if it seems uncomfortable, because abandoning a patient for doing so would only make them feel ashamed and afraid to open up in the future. I'm a borderline mentally disabled person myself, and I caught that immediately. I just want to put that out there, okay? In the end, while Kendra had certainly made a lot of poor decisions along the way, many can see that she is genuinely suffering from her own mental health issues, which is only made worse by the fact that she had grown a massive following from this viral moment. Kendra stated that she would be open to having her story used for a TV or film adaptation because she's a parasite. If this story can teach you anything, it's that being a therapist or a psychiatrist can be incredibly challenging. It's also a good warning to those that rely too much on social media and AI to validate their feelings. Kendra's not the first person to be in a situation like this. It's fascinating and a little bit alarming to see it be so broadcasted to millions of people online and eat it up like a little snack. Ooh. It's not hard to poke fun at someone like Kendra, but it's also good to remember that she's also probably dealing with her own mental health issues as well, right? Am I afraid of her? Probably. Is that even an appropriate thing to say? Probably not. But at the same time, people are going through some shit. I think it's just, if you're going through stuff, stay the fuck away from social media. Reflect on your own thoughts and stuff, you know? Imagine if she would have like just self-reflected, because I bet you in the following year, she's gonna be like, yeah, this was a horror story. I hope you realized like, when we looked into it, we heard it was like kind of a weird, funny thing. I just scared the shit out of myself.
Yeah, Dr. Mike's life was almost ruined.
I don't know the follow-up on Dr. Mike. I hope he's okay. I hope that honestly both of them are okay, but I hope that Dr. Mike, I hope he's all right. Hope you're doing okay. Hey, bye. I don't know.
12K followers doesn't mean 12K supporters. A lot of those people are probably hate watching for the drama.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for you to break down on live.
Oh, yeah.
Looking for ammunition to use against you.
Big time.
Rubbernecking the chaos like it's a car accident. The math you mentioned is telling.
Yeah.
700,000 views equals massive reach. 1,000 likes equals tiny engagement percentage.